It's a beautiful day here in Topol. Oh, right. Okay, so we just missed everything that we just said there. Matt was just welcoming you guys all in to the Regional Rumble here, and forgiveness for our bias, as we are both Bay of Plenty boys.
Looks like both teams are ready to go, TJ. We've had the whistle and we are underway for the 2020 Regional Rumble. Northland versus Bay of Plenty.
We go with our first jam.
Lead jammer out for Northland. Followed closely behind by Ivy Conivy for Bay of Plenty. And they have called the jam already. So jam number 1 over nice and quick.
30 seconds gone, Northern.
And a 3-point lead to Northern at this stage. So we're expecting this game to be fairly close, hopefully. Be a great start to the Regional Rumble this morning. Hopefully all of you got out of bed nicely this morning. I think the rest of us are doing about 4.5 hours sleep last night. Staying with both Northern and Bay of Plenty players. And we're out in jam number 2, and Kankelbiter takes lead jam for Bay of Plenty. Comes up to the pack on his scoring run, tries to duck down the inside, but gets caught, gets recycled right to the back of the pack. Northern Jammers still struggling to get through at this stage. So good opportunity for the Bay to catch some of those points. And we've got one in the bin already.
Some good team tactics going on.
Need to get Kankel through for those points, and she is through for 4.
Kankel takes up that lead jam.
And Northern is finally through. We have Crackerjacks taking over the jam position. Kankel back up into the pack, fighting away down the inside. And that is the jam number 2, done and dusted.
It's 5 points to 9. Bay of Plenty in the lead, holding a 4-point lead.
So hopefully everybody on the live stream this morning is doing well. Got your snacks ready, your drinks, especially if you're tuning in. Especially if you're tuning in from overseas, it's probably nice and early for you. We get ready for jam number 3. And we're underway. Northland almost through to the front, and we have received lead jammer for Northland.
And our lead jammer is Chemical Carnage for Northland as she's coming around, and our jammer for the Bay of Plenty has come through, number
is
91.
Nuclear. So Nuclear based out of the Sulphur Club in Rotorua City.
As Chemical Carnage calls an end to that jam. I think that's a very tactical move before Nuclear came along to score some points there for Bay of Plenty. Northern able to take over the lead, 10 points to 9.
Working at home and watching the stream, good on you. That's the way to do it. Now, of course, the tournament has been held in Taupo this weekend. And, of course, Taupo, if you don't know, is surrounded by a beautiful lake in the central North Island. And it does have a bit of a secret. It is one of the top 3 most explosive volcanoes in the world. So a bit of a secret there for Taupo's. Ivy Conivy gets out for Bay of Plenty and takes the lead jam.
So number 8, Ivy Conivy for Northland has taken up the lead jam. Roll slips through on the inside for another 4 points. Meanwhile, Bay of Plenty having a bit of time trying to come through.
So Ivy Conivy, one of the top jammers in New Zealand, has represented New Zealand as well as VRDL. Very accomplished skater, very wily and deceptively strong as she makes her way through the pack for another 4 points.
Bay of Plenty trying to get through on that behind that scrimmage line from the pivot.
The duo of T-Nuts and Monsterella holding back the North, but she's finally through. As Ivy comes back round to the pack, is she going to take the inside or outside? He tries the outside line, calls the jam before the Northland jammer can score. It's a tactical call off there by Ivy Kanivi. So Bay of Plenty jump out to a 21-10 lead after 4 jams. Can't do much about it. So to our people on the live stream, where are you watching from? You're watching here in New Zealand, overseas? I see someone's there in Ireland. Or am I reading that wrong?
It's jam on the way in Lead Jammer. It's French fatality for Northern.
So a certain change in the jam from the last one. We have Northland dominating this one, while Bay of Plenty still struggling to get through the initial. Here she comes back on the track now. So the pack's doing a great job holding Kangalbita back. Good opportunity for Northland to gain some of these points back. Of course, in Derby, until you get out to at least sort of a 40 to 50 point lead, you can't really sort of relax. As we can see, 20 to 25 point jams easily in Derby.
French fatality just cut through on the in through the middle there. Kangalbita still trying to fight her way through.
I might see to get the Bay of Plenty blockers in to help Cankle get out, or even consider passing the Pansy at this point, as Northland is certainly eating into that lead. Cankle's finally through and chasing down the Northland jammer. And Northland called it off before she can score.
It's a very tactical move.
And that gives Northland the lead, 26-21.
Just over 23 minutes left.
Just everybody on the streaming with us this morning. I assume you can hear us okay. Not a problem. If someone can just give us some yeses. Maybe we talk too much and you just want us to shush. After all, it is only 8:30 in the morning.
On a Saturday.
Probably still trying to get some coffees down there, Nick.
Busting through.
Okay, we're underway with the jam again, and Leah has taken the lead for Bay of Plenty.
It's a chance for Bay of Plenty to pull back some of those points. Nuclear just finding a way through on the inside, coming back around, passing that scrimmage line with a bit of ease.
Of course, Nuclear representing Bay of Plenty today, and she is normally based out of Sulphur City in Rotorua.
It looks like it's a bit of a power jam as the Northern jammer is having a seat on the naughty chair.
Well, no one told her the rules. She's been breaking them already. So a good opportunity for Bay of Plenty to score some good points here. And Nuclear's through again.
Now it's back to an even jam. The power jam is now over. Nuclear slipping through, just stepping out on the inside there.
Not quite. The Auckland jammer just getting her backside in the lane, stopping Leah from getting through.
Chemical Carnage finally breaks through the scrimmage line.
Oh, disaster for Bay of Plenty. Leah has been caught and she is off to the bin. So power jam here for Northland. Opportunity to grab some of these points back. Monster stopping her getting down the inside line. Monster and T-Nuts for Bay of Plenty working brilliantly. That's 1-1-1-9-9 and 2-1-2. Recycles it back around the track. Demonique getting there as well, but the jammers through.
Chemical Carnage is coming around again as the blockers are getting set.
Well, so far, even though we're only early stages of this bout, it is proving to be a seesaw close battle at this point.
Nuclear re-enters as the tail jam is now over and Bay of Plenty are back into the game.
But of course, one thing we have to consider at this point, TJ, is due to coronavirus. You know, we have had some leagues not even skating.
And that's the end of that jam. Now Bay of Plenty is 37, Northern 33, just over 20 minutes to go.
So as I was mentioning, we have had COVID earlier this year, and some leagues haven't even been training, let alone playing. So we're going to see a little bit of belt rust, a bit of wheel rust, whatever you want to call it. And Bay of Plenty through with Ivy Kanayu for lead jam status. Now, of course, if you're a little unfamiliar with Derby, a jammer is the person with the star on the helmet, and they get, of course, the person who scores points for their team. Now, you have mentioned, I've heard that they get lead jam status. Now, what does this mean? If you're a computer gamer, it's almost like saying she gets a bit of a power-up. Now, if she holds lead status, she can call off the jam whenever she chooses. If she doesn't, of course, the jam goes for a full 2 minutes. On the flip side, of course, if she does get sent to the penalty box or does a panty pass, she does lose that lead jammer status. Now, you might have noticed there's another girl out there with a stripe across the top of her helmet. That's, of course, the pivot. And at any time through the jam, the jammer can actually pass the star panty to the pivot, and she'll take over role as jammer, and the jammer will fill in as a blocker in the pack. So another tactical option for teams if the jammer is struggling to get through. Maybe she's a bit tired.
So we have our next jam underway. We have a fight for supremacy to get that lead jam roll. That's what Matt was alluding to. It's a titanic battle by the looks of it out there.
But of course, TJ, Bay of Plenty are going to take it. That's really a foregone conclusion. And considering I'm staying with some of the Northland players, if they do win, I'm going to lock them out of the house. Quite frankly, they can go and sleep in the barn. I tell you, it was a hell of a night with 12 girls and 2 guys. It was. Of course, Northland out and lead jam trying to grab some of these points back from Bay of Plenty. Have snuck out just a little bit of a lead here, nothing special. And looks like we've had a bit of a panty pass. Handed over to Demonique. Very feisty young player out of Hamilton City. Snores like a lumberjack. I'm sure she'll kill me if she hears me saying that. So again, we're almost halfway through the first half and these scores are tight, which is what we expected from these two teams. Of course, Northland is represented by Whangarei, the 2 Auckland clubs, as well as a few members from Hamilton. Bay of Plenty, of course, represented by Moana and Tauranga, Wordle and Whakatane, and of course Sulphur City in Rotorua.
We have our lead jam for this round.
And Northland again take lead jam.
French Fatality has taken the lead jam role, playing very well today.
And Leah has got through as well, so and we see the jam called. So just a 4-point jam there.
Very tactical move to keep that score close.
And we are all level at 45 apiece.
We just clocked over the 17-minute mark.
Now, is there any way the MCs can help Bay of Plenty win this game? Can we MC from the centre of the track? What can we do? Come on, Bay of Plenty. But no, I shouldn't be mean to Auckland. There's some very nice girls in the Auckland side. Great players. But of course, Regional Rumble, it's an inaugural event, and normally we have the top 10 here in New Zealand, which has the main leagues competing for the top 10. But this is the opportunity to represent your region. So after 2 days of battle, late tomorrow night, who is going to take this #1 crown? Hopefully Bay of Plenty, but we certainly have some strong teams lining up later this afternoon. The jam has been called. It's been a pretty clean jam so far, or bout so far. Haven't really had any official reviews or timeouts or anything like that. Looks like Kankelbite is back out on track for the Bay of Plenty side. Captain of the team, of course. So if it all goes wrong, it's on her shoulders. No pressure. And we have Cracker Jacks for Northland lining up, trying to take the inside line.
Kankle has to go back to the start there.
Oh, and the Northland Jammer's on her backside. She has been taken down in turn number 1. And both Jammers been recycled right back to the back of the pack at this point. So we seem to be going backwards in this jam, not forward. Kankle trying the outside line and now coming down to the inside.
And that last little part of the jam, Kankle took a bit of a hard fall on the outside there.
She'll walk it off, or skate it off, I suppose.
They are very tough cookies out there.
Now, just later in the day, to keep you all amused, TJ and I might have a bit of a competition to see how many movie lines we can get into our commentary, just to make things a little interesting.
Kankle is assumed control of this jam.
Northern Jammer right behind her, though, so will we see a hit and quit, or are they going to make this run? What are they going to do here? Kankle coming up the centre of the pack. No, calls the jam. Northland may have sneaked a sneaky point there. I'm not 100% sure. Yes, they have snuck a sneaky point right there, getting past Chukka Wobbly. So 1 point apiece for that jam and a 1 point lead for Northland. We can't have Northland win all those Jaffas north of the Bombays. Now, if you don't know what Jaffa means on the live stream, I'm not going to explain it because it's a little rude. But that's what all us lower down in New Zealand call people from Auckland, above the Bombay Hills, Jaffas. Just another Aucklander.
Nuclear has assumed control for Bay of Plenty in this jam as the lead jammer. Of course, the jam just before Northern Jammer can come up and score any points.
So again, we see that hit and quit. But Northland still get 3. Bay of Plenty only 1.
51-48, with Northern on top.
Five-second call from the jam timer. And we're underway again. Northern Jammer trying to sneak down the inside line. No success yet. As Ivy Conivy smacks through the pack and takes control of the jam. Of course, we do have the Northern Jammer. She's out now in hot pursuit. What are we going to see here? We've got Carnage all by themselves falling over. And Ivy sneaks around the outside line and calls the jam. Very talented jammer.
And that evens everything up at 51 apiece.
Of course, interesting to see we have Kitty No Pity playing in Northland. Very accomplished jammer herself. Seems to be taking up a blocking role at this stage, so it'll be interesting to see if they pull her out later on to do a few jams. 5-second call again. And looks like the referees have had enough of the MCs and they've decided to have a bit of a break.
Yes, we have a timeout by the looks of it. So in this little break of action, we're seeing the teams gather and get their tactics right. Looks like some very in-depth conversations going on in there. Are you any good at lip reading?
I'm an absolute expert at lip reading.
Maybe that could be the way that
Who
you
would
can
you
give
like
Bay of
me
Plenty
to?
the upper hand.
Who would you like me to read over there? Kanklebiter seems to be talking to her troops, and by the look of what she's saying, it's if you guys don't pull your finger out, we're going to have a problem in the car park later on. Sorry guys, yeah, we are a bit short of stats. We're just trying to get a little bit organised here. We're a little bit late getting sorted, so hopefully later in the day we can come up with you a few more stats than we are currently.
11:51 on the clock remaining. We have 51 all So very tense battle.
Well, I hope you're certainly enjoying the stream at home.
And we're in the middle with our next jam.
Kankelbite is still at the back, struggling to get through at this point. Northland Jammer being recycled right to the back as well.
Good Carnage and
But
Kankelbiter
she's
going out.
almost round the outside, but it's tipped out over the sideline.
Kankelbiter assumes control for Bay of Plenty.
Bay of Plenty's pocket rocket. She comes up to the back of the pack now. She's going to try the outside line. No, straight up the middle, but no success there.
The panty's been passed for Northern. The penny has been passed to Crunch, who I think has been told to go have a seat on the naughty chair, which means a power jam is in play for Kankelbiter.
Now, of course, as you see, girls throughout these bouts in the day will be heading off to the penalty box for rule infringements. And of course, you are allowed 6 penalties.
Kankelbiter slips through.
Now,
there.
as I said that, I've probably got rule experts saying I'm wrong, but hear me out, hear me out. You are allowed 6, because the 7th you are out of there. You are taking an early shower, so you can have 6 and rejoin the game. The 7th, it's goodbye, see you later, good night, nurse, hasta la vista, in the showers.
He's already starting those movie puns.
So of course they do need to watch those stats closely, the benchies, make sure they're not getting a player that's close to being fouled out of the game. You don't really want to lose a player at this point.
And there's an official timeout on the floor. So give a chance for the teams to regroup once again. Kankelbiter had a power jam in that last jam.
So of course, Regional Rumble has been brought to you by the amazing Michelle Holler, her little baby this event is, and she's hoping we will do it all again next year. I tell you, this woman has put in some incredible work to bring this Regional Rumble to us today, and certainly deserves all the credit she can get. She has put in an absolute, I can't say enough to the work this woman has put into bringing us this tournament. So let's hope it's a major success and everybody has a ball, win, lose. As long as we all have a good time, that's all that counts. And Bay of Plenty take lead jam as we get back underway. Nuclear
is taking control.
takes the lead as the Northland Jammer gets recycled right to the back of the pack, still on her initial. Pushed out again and recycled back again.
Nuclear pushes through on the outside there to score some more points for Bay of Plenty, as Nuclear has assumed the jammer role.
Of course, Leah normally plays the position of jammer for her Sulphur City side, known as Motley Crew. And it looks like we have had a panty pass.
For Northern.
And number 126, Smith, takes it over for Northland, but the jam is called before she can get round to the pack. Well, Smith normally has been playing for the last few years out of the Moana side, but of course is now playing up in Auckland for Pirates.
Just under 9 minutes to go. We have 51-63 with Bay of Plenty in the lead.
Normally a very accomplished blocker, but can get a mongrel on when she gets into that jammer role. Underway again.
Versus, ooh,
Oh, and that's how you do it. If you
That's
can't
how
go
you just
round
get
it,
through.
just steamroller. No mercy showing there as Northland take lead jam with Ivy Conivy in hot pursuit,
Hellhound has taken control for Northern.
wearing her very distinctive orange and black shorts today.
And Hellhound
And
caught
she's
in
quite
the
happy with
jam.
herself on that one. Oh, we've got Hellhound back again, have we? Watched her last week.
This is your chance to make amends.
Yes, I made a bit of an error last week, didn't I? I think I was calling Bikini Brawler Low Blow and all sorts of other names. Yeah, we'll get it right today.
51 to 63 with Bay of Plenty on top. Just over 8 minutes to go. And we have a timeout on the floor. Well, a little bit about Kankelbiter, the captain for Bay of Plenty. Started up derby just after leaving dance school. Wanted to just get fit, but ended up becoming a lifetime member. And now is the team captain of Bay of Plenty roller derby team.
Yes, that is correct. Each penalty is 30 seconds. You'll see the players go to the penalty box. They'll sit down. They'll get counted for 20 seconds and then get told to stand. The last 10 seconds, and then they get told they are free to leave the box.
And a 5-second call on the floor. And the jam is underway.
Who do we have jamming for Bayo? It's little Kankel again. She's underway.
Team captain Kankelbiter and assuming control for Northern. Here's French Fatality. French Fatality.
French Fatality.
That's what you got to love about these names that they come up for themselves.
Yes, some are easy to read.
Spelling.
Some are a bit of a puzzle. Especially when you get into some of these names, yeah, they can be very, very difficult to understand.
So I guess I have to apologise in advance.
We're really going nowhere in this jam at the moment. We seem to be going backwards again as the jammers are being recycled right to the back.
Kankelbiter re-enters.
Tries the inside line and is successful. She is through.
It came at the sacrifice of her blocker.
That's what blockers are for. You just
Believe.
push them out of the way. And straight round the outside. Just no one home. Northern will be kicking themselves for that one. That was an easy 4 points given away.
And the power jam is now over. As French Fatality is now in the mix. And the Bay of Plenty blockers doing a great job there, but getting around the outside is French Fatality as Kankelbiter passes on us by.
Okay, Northern in hot pursuit. Coming up to the back of the pack is Kankelbiter. She smashes her way through and she's taken on girls almost twice her size. Gets up a bit gingerly there, perhaps got a little bit winded, but she's back underway. Takes a lot to stop little Kankles. Looks like she's having a little bit of a chat with the referee there.
Bit of a chuckle and a bit of a laugh. That's always good to see.
I mean, you can't really complain about a high block because any block on Kankle seems to be a bit of a high block. She's going to slap me for that one.
Well, it makes sense with a name like Kankelbiter, doesn't it?
And we've got Lear jamming for Bay of Plenty. There's a Northern jammer down the inside and through for lead. Lear through as well, so this is a close race.
So we've got Pinnacle Carnage taking that lead role, makes the signal for her blockers.
Looks like Pack is starting to speed up. Thought we might see a hit and quit there, but no, Pack is speeding up, and that has been called. Looks like just a 1 point jam there from the referees. Of course, we do have to thank our referees and NSOs, our non-skating officials. Without them, we certainly couldn't be holding this tournament today, or any game for that matter. So they're an incredibly important part of any derby game. As we see Mr. Major walk past us here, I think he's just strutting his stuff around and checking things out. I believe we'll be reffing later in the day. Very accomplished referee. Retiring at the end of the year, I believe. I think the Moana Club may have scored him to become a new benchy, which will be certainly very, very valuable to the Moana side.
And we have a timeout on the floor. 59-82 with Bay of Plenty on top. 4 minutes 40 left on the clock.
Yes, that is correct. The Jammers do have stars on their helmets, and of course the stripe is the pivot. If they just have normal names or numbers, they are just your everyday standard average blockers. Of course, on the track at any one time, we do have 4 blockers from each team, total 8, and 2 Jammers, 1 for each side. Looks like we have Ivy Canivy back out for Bay of Plenty. She's certainly their big gun for this weekend's tournament. And they will be relying on her heavily to bring in some valuable points for them.
Crackerjacks.
Of course, we're out to a 22-point lead for Bay of Plenty at this point, with just under 5 minutes left to play in the first half.
Crackerjacks assumes the role for Jammer for the Northern team.
Yes, sorry guys, that is correct. North is playing in the blue, and purple is Bay of Plenty.
And we off our next jam. Ivy Canivy is trying to get on that inside, but gets told to take a seat. So we have a power jam in play once again. And this gives a chance for Chemical Carnage, Crackerjack, to get that lead jammer roll, which she does
and
for Northern.
She is through, yes. So a good opportunity. The Northern blockers really need to get in here and get rid of the Bay of Plenty blockers so she can just steamroll on through for 4 points. What are they going to do? And they've tipped the jammer out over the sideline. And they're going to recycle her all the way back. So this is good work by the Bay of Plenty team.
And that power jam has now come to an end as Ivy Canivy comes back in.
Unfortunately for Northland, that was a waste of a power jam. Didn't really take advantage of it. But Ivy's back out and underway. Northland jammer trying down the outside, can't get through, so she calls the jam.
Yeah, we've got some skaters out there.
Oh, well. We're using it, really? I don't think we were using it.
Yeah, this just keeps going in and out, this one. Yeah,
they go far. A little louder on that, or that? Yeah, it seems to be fading in that. Maybe we need a battery change, I don't know.
Cool, and our next jam is underway. And we've got Nuclear.
Nuclear back underway for Bay of Plenty with lead jam. And
Nuclear has come through and scored some points there.
Easy 4 points on that pass. Northland jammer still struggling to get through. Looks like we could see a sneaky panty pass here. Oh, and Leah has just gone through again, so this is a good jam for Bay of Plenty.
Big heavy for Hellhound, as Hellhound is the jammer for Northern.
And it looks like Demonique is assuming the position in the penalty box, one of her favourite places to play. Certainly a player who loves spending time in the penalty box. Nuclear tried the outside line, just got tipped out over the side. She's still right at the front of the pack there, almost through. And it looks like the skater for Northland is attempting a panty pass. They really need to get their jammer underway because this is easy points at the moment for Bay of Plenty, who are starting just to sneak up that score a little bit as we close down the second half.
Nuclear comes to that outside of jam line and passes through and calls him into that jam.
Looks like Velocikitty calling for an official review, so this could be interesting. Yes, No, totally agree with that. Very, very good jam there by Leah. Some very nice points for Bay of Plenty from people online.
Yeah, we've just got over a minute to go. 62-98 to Bay of Plenty. As this official review takes place. Gives a chance again for the teams to discuss tactics. It looks like some pretty intense discussions going on from the Bay of Plenty team.
Chatting with some of the girls last night at the accommodation. And they're pretty fired up about this game. Could be a lot of ribbing going on later tonight, depending on who wins, who loses. But it's all in good fun.
And the official review still in effect.
Yeah, no, just seen a comment online here about Smith and Monster blocking each other. Of course, we're teammates last year. Monster normally jamming Moana, and Smith, the captain of the Moana side. Normally very good on track together, work very well. And of course, again, as you say, we see them here today up against each other. But at this point, I say Monster has the bragging rights looking at the score. But of course, if you follow Derby, you know this lead can be easily eaten in. A couple of power jams and that score could be easily tied back up.
Officials having a really good chat about things. Thank you once again to our officials and NSOs. Without their help, this kind of thing would not be able to go ahead.
So, of course, 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go here. Hopefully, we'll get another couple of jams as Ivy takes the track for Bay of Plenty.
Still just needing to hold for a little bit as our officials are still having a discussion.
I say let's just get on with the bout. You know, we can always sort it out at half time.
And that's why you are sitting next to me on the MC desk.
Dead right. Yeah, I don't think it would go down too well as a referee saying calm the farm and get on with it.
Northern called for an official review. They were after a back block penalty on the Bay of Plenty blocker. They won their official review and a back block penalty was awarded.
Right.
Okay, so there's a explanation from our referee as to that review. So, of course, if you lose the review, you lose your review full stop. If you do win it, you do retain that option of review. Hope that made sense. This hour of the morning, I'm not sure if I am making sense, but I'm sure I made enough sense that people will figure that one out. Call it this morning's puzzle. If you can figure that one out, you're awake.
Yeah, they're just getting the final signals that we are good to go.
I think really they've sorted out now. They're just discussing halftime coffees.
Yep, that halftime oranges. Who's providing?
Just a reminder, we've got the captain's review meeting, captain's meeting for the next game at 9 a.m.
Captain's review meeting at 9 a.m.
Sorry.
And if you heard that, that's really great. We have the captain's review meeting at 9 a.m.
And we're back underway, guys, finally. And Ivy wasting no time, heading straight out onto track and gaining that lead jammer status as she smashes her way through the Northland pack. Just no mercy at all. She has certainly got her game face on today. Northland jammer almost through, gets tipped out over the sideline by Primeval. But she is now through the pack and underway.
French fatality. French fatality for Northern coming on through. That's Ivy Kanivi calling an end to that jam. And it's 106 to 68 with Bay of Plenty on top.
Can you remember who's playing next? Who's playing next? I haven't got that information.
We've got time for one more final jam. As we have a official review. So just on the shades of halftime here, we have another official review, 106 to 68 with Bay of Plenty on top. Team captain Ken Kilbiter out there for Bay of Plenty as the jammer. Also, thank you to all the volunteers that have volunteered for the event today. Your help is muchly appreciated, from the first aid officers all the way through to just people on the desk.
Alrighty guys, just to answer your question about who's up next, we have Central 1 up against 2 South, 2 Furious from the South Island. That game will be starting at approximately 10 o'clock. Game following that will be 11:45. That's Mtoa versus South 1. And game 4 at 1:30 p.m. will be Wellington versus Namanoa. So that's our 4 games lined up for this morning, the quarterfinals.
And Kekabata comes out on top with the lead jam roll. The Northern jammer is still trying to fight the way through those Bay of Plenty boxes. Blockers, T-Nuts doing a great job at containing.
So Bay of Plenty have broken the 100-point mark at this stage. Kankel still fighting her way down the inside, now to the outside, but really struggling to get past. The packs really start to close up now. T-Nuts working hard there.
The blockers, Mozzarella doing a great job.
And the Northland jammer, Crackerjacks, is through. And the jam gets called. So all that hard work to no avail.
And that's our half-time.
So looks like we're into half-time, guys. 15-minute break from here. And we'll be back underway with the second half of the Regional Rumble 2020, Bay of Plenty versus Northland. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed the first half. If you do need, if you are here at the venue and you need some snacks, remember there is a coffee stand outside as well as a food truck. And of course, if you're at home, it's a good opportunity to get up and maybe grab yourself a few more snacks. And we'll try and go back and read some of the comments. Sorry, I've been a bit slack on reading some of the comments. It is a little bit difficult to see some of them. But just to go through those games again for you today, guys. We are currently underway with Northland versus Bay of Plenty. Next game is 10 o'clock, which is Central 1 versus 2 South, 2 Furious. Again, 10 a.m. for that one. At 11:45 we have Mtoa versus South 1. And at 1:30 we have Wellington versus Namanoa. Also playing today, we do have the loser of Game 1 up against the loser of Game 2 at 3:15 p.m. The loser of Game 3 and the loser of Game 4 will be battling it out at 5 o'clock. But of course, that's not the end of the day. At 7 o'clock tonight, we do have an exhibition game. And that will be the New Zealand men up against an invitation side. And we have, looking through the names, we certainly have some interesting looking names. Some very, very talented skaters. And that one will be coming to us at 7 o'clock tonight. So make sure you mark your alarm for that. Now we're just going to take a bit of a break here and we'll be back with you a few minutes prior to the half. So again, grab yourself a bite to eat, stretch those legs, and we'll see you shortly.
All right, professional voices on.
Alrighty guys, so we're back here with a live stream. Getting almost ready for the second half of Northland versus Bay of Plenty. Now I did see a couple of questions. We were actually answering them, but we had been cut off at that point, so you possibly didn't hear what we said. Now there was a question about what Central 1 and Central 2 cover. Now Central 1 is basically through the middle of the North Island from Taranaki through to Napier. And Central 2 is the lower North Island above Wellington, so the likes of Wanganui, Palmerston North, that sort of region through there. So I hope that answers your question. We have made a few adjustments on our screen so we can read your comments a little bit better now. We're having a little bit of trouble seeing them, but they're nice and big and easy to read now, so hopefully we can interact with you a bit more through the second half.
And we're underway with our next jam, as the first jam of the second half is underway. 110 to 68 with Bay of Plenty on top.
Yes, on the mic today you do have Matt and TJ. Matt's the cool one, TJ's the nerd. Now you're probably asking yourself, which one's the cool one, really?
The cool one definitely says, doesn't it?
But of course we're back underway. Lead jam is currently held by Ivy Canivy for Bay of Plenty in purple. And if you are just joining us on the stream, we've just arrived into the hall. Welcome to Regional Rumble 2020. Game 1, Bay of Plenty versus Northland.
Hellhound is on the jam for Northern. Ivy Canivy for Bay of Plenty.
Both jammers come round to the back of the pack now. Ivy in command of this jam with lead jam status. And she is through again.
Hellhound got recycled and approaching that jam again. Bay of Plenty blockers doing a great job.
Of course, when we talk
boxing into the outside, and Hellhound has made her way through.
Of course, if you are talking Ivy Canivy, she is, as mentioned earlier, New Zealand representative and has played overseas in Division 1 teams as well. So a very accomplished skater and certainly knows what she's doing out there.
And with that jam, that brings us to 126 to 76, 28-20 to go. Oh, okay, so my name is TJ, And alongside on my left hand is Mr. Matt, well, your MCs for the first game here at Regional Rumble.
And if we are driving you slightly crazy, don't worry about it. We'll have a new MC team for the next game at 10 o'clock. And that'll be Sneaks as well as Drama Queen. Hopefully they've arrived at the hall and ready to take over from us.
French Fatale is...
Do these teams have much team history? The team themselves, no, they are pretty much brand spanking new, put together for this regional rumble. Hopefully this is going to become an inaugural tournament, and we'll do it all again next year.
And we have Cracker
TJ,
Jacks.
your voice is smooth. You are being hit on.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So I guess that makes me the nerd.
Well,
Oh, well,
you can't
I'm
be
used
cool.
to it.
You can't be cool for yourself proclaiming cool.
I'll wipe away my tears of dejection and rejection.
Thank you for the compliment.
Thank you, Mambo. Much appreciated. Love you too. But thank you for joining us on the stream today. Good to see you here.
All right, now we've got our next jam underway, and it's turned into a power jam for Bay of Plenty, as Cracker Jacks has been told to take a seat on the naughty chair.
So 30-second power jam. To Bay of Plenty as we go through, and she's almost through, rounding out one blocker to get past, and she's through. So underway with lead jam status. The packs take a bit of a breather as they wait, so Bay of Plenty need to form here. They need to get these northern blockers out of the way and give Lear a nice clear path through.
Nuclear with that outside line in this power jam. Nuclear has to return back to the start.
And they're dragging her right back as far as they can. They want to eat up as much of this power jam as they can, and they've done it successfully.
Cracker Jacks comes back into play for Northern. As Nuclear takes that inside line and is able to escape through to score some points for Bay of Plenty. Cracker Jacks just having a bit of a hard time looking to do a panty pass off to the pivot. Nuclear comes back around to the outside, dipping back in, inside, outside for Nuclear for Bay of Plenty. And they've gone to the part where it's hard for us to see from our angle.
Yes, all the NSO standing in the way, blocking our view. But Nuclear is through once again.
Good jam for Bay of Plenty, extending that lead as Cracker Jacks has now decided to keep the hold of that jammer.
Nuclear right back up into the pack. Tries out and calls the jam just before the Northern jammer arrives.
That was a tactical call by Bay of Plenty as they go up 135 to 79. Just over 25 minutes to go in this half.
Or you could say we're 5 minutes down. But we're starting to see Bay of Plenty just starting to draw that score out. And is this what we were talking about earlier with COVID, with some of the teams not practicing or even playing, a bit of a wheel rust or belt rust, whatever you want to call it, where some of these Bay of Plenty girls have been playing and training all year long, even with COVID. So are we starting to see that fitness, that game fitness, starting to come into play for the Bay of Plenty side?
Chemical Currents took a big hit there on the outside as assuming control of the lead jam, but caught into that just before Ivy could score any points for Bay of Plenty. 82 to 135 with the bop on top. Yeah, sometimes it's like a buy for lots of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. There is my first pun.
And quite a pathetic one at that. Oh, dear Lord. But he's got nothing to do with it. And we're back underway with Cankle Biter jamming for Bay of Plenty. She tries that outside line. Those jammers have been kicked out over the sideline and drawn right back. And Cankle is through for lead jam for Bay of Plenty.
It's Cankle Biter.
Bay of Plenty's little pocket rocket.
While Hellhound's still trying to make the way through for
Just
Northern.
got Prime. She's past Primeval now, so she's underway. Cankle back up on the pack. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
Cankle
told to
Biter
sit
has
down
been
on
caught
the
for a
naughty
penalty
chair.
and sent back to the naughty corner.
As Hellhound breaks through on the inside there.
So Power Jam to the Northland side. They certainly need this Power Jam. They need to catch up some points. And that's the end of the jam, the full 2 minutes. I think that's actually the full 2 minute jam we've had in the game.
Yes, we just had a bit of a tumble there on the floor for one of the skaters.
Sorry, I completely missed that off to my left-hand side. We have had a bit of a tumble.
So we hope
I think she might have just got a little bit winded as she went down there. She's just taken a few breaths, and I'm sure she'll be back up and underway.
that'll damage.
They breed these players pretty tough here in Aotearoa. It takes a lot more than a little tumble to put any of these players out. They're a tough bunch. So 135 to 86. Bay of Plenty leading Northland at this point in time. Northland might have to do a bit of a regroup here, a bit of a rethink on their tactics and try something different. Throw something Bay of Plenty haven't seen.
Sounds like you're supporting Bay of Plenty there, Matt.
Me? Never. I would never be biased towards Bay of Plenty. I'm not a biased MC.
Sounds like you live in Rotorua or something.
I would never ever be biased. That's completely unprofessional.
Straight down the middle.
And you would never ever hear "Go Bay of Plenty" come out of my mouth.
We're even keeled here. Well, we can see the teams discussing tactics amongst themselves, even the officials. The officials might be talking more about what they're going to be doing after the games.
I believe Bay of Plenty did call a timeout. I did see Diamond in the middle talking to the ref. Sort of on the opposite side of the track here, so it is. I was going to bring a pair of binoculars. Might have come in useful. I'm getting old these days and my vision's not the greatest. So to our people at home enjoying the stream, hopefully you're enjoying the game so far. How many Auckland supporters do we have, or should I say Northland supporters? Compare who's supporting Bay of Plenty. Any Jaffas watching? And no, I'm not going to apologise for using the word Jaffa. That's fair game when you live down in the Bay of Plenty. They tend to come down during the holidays like this long weekend and use our parks and recreation facilities to go mountain biking. Oh, here we go. We've got some Bay supporters here.
So we got a power
Oh, we got Loveless on. Loveless, how are we doing, girl?
We got a power jam happening right now for Northern. This Kankabiter still on another chair.
McPherce joining us as well. McPherce, you should be down here playing, showing off your skills for Bay of Plenty.
French Fantel is now the lead jammer for Northern. This Kankabiter's coming around the back.
Cankle tries to sneak around the outside, but just gets tipped out over the sideline and gets escorted right to back down the track. Northland coming through. Cankle dives to the inside.
Hands off the panty.
No success there so far. And we have actually had a panty pass in the Bay of Plenty side.
Princess Di has taken over the role of jammer for Bay of Plenty. As French Fantel is still in that lead jammer role for Northern. Trying to score back some of those points. Going to the outside as French Fantel. Going back to the inside, skating on through.
Oh, McPherce, you are not an old lady, not at all. And even if you are, you've still got the skills of an 18-year-old. So, miss seeing you out there on track.
It's Princess Di trying to go from the outside to the inside. And that jam roll for Bay of Plenty back on the inside. Meanwhile, French Fantel's made way through the jam pack once again.
Princess Di is still struggling to get through after being passed the panty from Kanklebiter. She's trying to struggle her way down the inside line.
Now broken through.
And she is through, coming through turns 1 and 2. The jam has been called by Northland. So Northland catching up a few points here, now broken the 100 themselves, up to 102 to 139 with a 19-4 jam. So a excellent jam for Northland in that one. What they certainly needed at this point in the game. McPherce seems to like our banter. It's a bit early in the morning for drinking, McPherce.
It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock at night somewhere. I think that's what they say.
McPherce has skated for Wordle out of Whakatane. First time I think I saw her jam was at the Kawerau Rec Hall. And I must say I was highly, highly impressed.
We have a power jam on the floor as Nuclear for Bay of Plenty has been told to take a seat. And number 39, which is Karaka Jacks for Northern, is now trying to fight through with this power jam.
The Northland blockers really need to get in and help their jam ahead, get them through. They seem to be doing the hold back tactic. Not a fan of this hold back tactic, to be honest. At times you really need a pushy jammer who can push the pack right up.
And we have another one from
And if you haven't, it's sort of just making the jammer work very, very hard when they don't need to.
Nuclear's back into the action, so the power jam is now over, but it's a power jam for Nuclear, as Cracker Jacks is told to take a seat on the naughty chair as well.
You know, Cracker Jacks has basically said whatever Nuclear can do, I can do better, and gone off to the penalty box herself, where she'll serve her 30 seconds.
So Nuclear breaks on through. Not the lead jammer, not in control of the jam though. So Nuclear tries to get to the outside.
9:30 p.m. here, whereabouts are you? 3:30 p.m. here.
Felt okay opening the wine at 3:30. I would.
3:30 p.m. opening the wine. No one's got an issue with that.
No judgment here. That's what this community is all about.
Oxfordshire, England. Awesome. Halfway around the planet,
Wow.
so I assume it is still Friday for you. We're in the future. We're on a Saturday.
Cracker Jack's trying to get on that inside, but the Bay of Plenty blockers doing a great job at containing. Nuclear is at the back of the pack for Bay of Plenty trying to break through. And that's the end of that jam.
Is that microphone working for you? You. I don't think this one's working for you, I wasn't really talking in this one, but yeah.
Still sorting out some of these technical issues that we've got live here. All the streamers.
So here we go again. Bit of a timeout taking place. So the MCs can get their crap together and get on with it.
Watching from the windy Wellington.
So we got people from Palmerston North, New Zealand, Indiana. We've had some from Ireland, Sydney, Australia. G'day, mate.
California. Welcome in. Now we've got someone that's watching.
If we've
and
watched
so forth.
someone on the live stream from Taupo, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be down here cheering on everybody. Dear Lord. I hope you're working, or you have kids to look after, or you should hold your head in shame. Another one from New Orleans. Hello, Blonde Solo.
Canada. Well, we got a real international audience. Maine.
Yes, you have been called out.
Now remember, Matt's the uncool guy.
No, I am the cool one in my own playpen. When I'm all by myself in my playpen, I am the cool one. Okay, so we're almost ready to get back underway for the next jam. Can't quite see who's lining up for either side. Referee's in the way at this point. I'm starting to think we've been put over in the naughty corner.
Well, it's a power jam for Northern.
Oh, so they iced the Bay of Plenty jammer.
Chemical carnage.
Always a good tactic to use. If you ice the jammer in the box at the end of the last jam, it means you get a free start. No oppers hosing jammer.
Chemical carnage.
So Northland take the lead.
It's taken the jammer roll.
Northland coming.
Tactic.
Bay of Plenty need to work here. They need to hold this jammer back and eat up this 30-second penalty for the Bay of Plenty jammer. But she's through again for 4 points. And this is exactly what Northland need at the moment. They need to eat back this score if they've got any chance of taking this win this morning. Of course, it is a simple knockout tournament today. If you lose your first game, you cannot win the tournament. But you can fight later in the day for, or later tomorrow I should say, for 7th and 8th, 5th and 6th, 3rd and 4th.
So that's the end of that jam there. And we have 113. Yes, 113 to 146 with Bay of Plenty in the lead. Just under 16 and a half minutes to go.
So just under 17 minutes left to go in this jam.
So we're getting set for our next jam here.
And I would say that Northland
Ivy
have
Conivy.
clawed back a few points, only a 33-point lead at this stage.
Ivy Conivy and French Fantel are on.
And Northland have not been given the Ivy Conivy coming through with the lead jam status. She needs to score some good points here for her team and just extend that lead a bit. Northland jammer confused, thought she had lead, but she doesn't. Tried to call the jam, but Ivy Conivy is in control of this jam for Bay of Plenty.
Ivy Conivy sneaking back on
Velocity
inside.
doing her best, I should say, to block out Ivy, but no cigar there. Velocity, of course, a member of the Pirates up in Auckland City.
Northern 117, Bay of Plenty 150. Five seconds scored.
So we're underway with the next jam. Both jammers are trying the inside line. On straight down on her backside. A hard hit there for the Northland jammer. Gets recycled back along with Kankelbiter for Bay of Plenty.
Team captain Kankelbiter just re-enters the
Kankelbiter
action.
just taking a look at her options, taking on a tripod at the moment, trying to sneak down the inside. She's been, oh, not quite. She put a foot out over the line.
Hellhound has broken through for Northern, taking control of the league jam.
So Hellhound coming around on his scoring run now, tries the outside line. Successfully through, another 4 points for the Northland side.
Kankelbiter re-entering the back of the pack there as Hellhound approaches the jam line as well. Looks like the panty's been passed. Oh, thinking about a panty pass, I think, is Kankelbiter.
Yeah, at this point of a jam, when you've got the other jammer out leading the way, you really have to think tactically, do I pass the panty? On Kankel has pushed the Northland jammer out and is recycling her right back around the track. Here comes the pack to try and soak up Kankel, forcing Kankel forward.
Kankel's taken off. Like
Nice
a rocket.
time wasting tactic there by Bay of Plenty.
As Hellhound has caught an into that jam. And with Northern 122 to Bay of Plenty's 150.
I have to say that's one of the first times I've seen the tactic worked or used here of games I've seen. I've seen it done in Division 1 over in the US where the jammer has pushed the other jammer out and recycled them right the way back around the track. Jammers lined up on the start line.
5 seconds record and we're off again. As we've got Chemical Carnage for Northern on the jam wrong. And Nuclear for Bay of Plenty as Chemical Carnage assumes control as the lead jammer for this
Chemical
jam.
Carnage through for Northland, taking control of the jam as lead jammer. And we still have the Bay of Plenty jammer just struggling to try and get down that inside line. The Northland tripod of Smith, Velocity doing a fantastic job holding her back.
And Nuclear has finally broken through on the inside for
But
Bay
she
of Plenty.
gets through with a bit of offensive play there by Demonique, number 9.
Was a bit of a crash and a tumble for Chemical Carnage, but straight back up onto the skates and rolling it off.
So a 5-point jam there for Northland, 128 to 150 Bay of Plenty. closing down to the final 12 minutes of the half and the game. This is where both teams have to dig deep, make sure they can hold off that lead or pull those points back.
Looks like Ivy Kanavi trying to skate on the outside there for the jamming roll of Bear Plenty, and almost through. Ivy Kanavi breaks through 4.
Yes, Ivy resumes lead jam for Bay of Plenty. They need to get some points here and just extend that lead a little bit.
Crackerjack still trying to get around the Bay of Plenty blockers.
And Ivy is through, showing those skills she is renowned for. Comes up to the back of the pack. Skate and goes straight through, unopposed. Well, this is not what Northland need. They need to hold her back. They need to stop her scoring. They can't afford to give away points like this. And she is through again, down the inside line. This is going to be a high-scoring jam for Bay of Plenty. And as long as the Northland jammer hasn't gone through on her initial, they are going to keep going round and round, eating up these points. And down the outside, on one leg. And she is through yet again. Could this be the jam that takes the score out of reach for Northland? Of course, still plenty of time. Over 10 minutes left. That is plenty of time. And she is through again. She is just carving through like a hot knife through butter.
We have a panty pass that's happened for Northern. As Crunch has now taken over.
And she comes through again. She gets narrow and sneaks straight through again. Calls the jam. So a fantastic jam there by Ivy for the Bay of Plenty. 24-point jam there for Ivy, taking the score out to 128 to 174 for Bay. Looks like we're having a timeout being called again.
Thank you once again to all our officials and NSOs.
I need to sort these mics out.
We're having a few difficulties with our live mics, but our stream seems to be going great.
Yes, no, 100% agree. It's not down just to the jammer. The Packs did nice work to stop them forming up a solid wall. And Ivy doesn't need a big gap. She just needs a narrowest gap. She just needs to think there's one there and one appears. She's very, very good track awareness and can see that gap before anyone else does. And you know, like I said, you only need to leave half a gap for Ivy and she's through it. Gone burgers, see you later, good night nurse.
Looks like we're just getting
Now, it
some
looks
track
like
tape.
she might be lining back up on track straight away. So it looks like Bay of Plenty might be firing their shots with 10 minutes to go. Getting Ivy out there as much as they can. To seal the deal for Bay of Plenty over this Northland side. Gone burger, dead right.
And our next jam is underway.
She's a gone burger and these MCs are a McFlurry with cheese. Plenty of cheese. And we make no apology for it.
And it looks like Ivy Kanavi
So
has
both
assumed control.
skaters through here. Ivy does have lead, but she...
But French Fantel is right on.
She does have the Northern Jammer right behind. Both skaters coming around the main straight now, down into turn 1 and 2. Ivy up the inside. And takes a bit of a tumble there.
Good sign
Good
of
sportsmanship shown there by Velocikitty, helping her up. Thing is too, with both these teams, they do interact quite a bit, and their various leagues do play each other quite regularly, so all the girls know each other pretty well. You see a few of them going out and pool playing for various teams. So one week, like today, they might be up against each other. Next week, they're probably playing together in the same team. It looks like we have Hellhound back on track for Northland.
And Kankalbita, the Bay of Plenty captain, is the jammer for Bay of Plenty. He's having a bit of a hard time trying to go up
Looks
to the
like
outside
she's
and back down to the inside. And just having a hard time getting around the blockers there for Northern.
Princess Di trying to do a bit of offence for Cankle there, but to this point, no avail. Both jammers really struggling to get through with this jam. And we have Cankle right round the outside and takes up lead jammer. Of course, it is a power play. We do have Northern jammer in the box, Hellhound. She has been a little naughty and is serving her 30-second penalty. Comes around again. Are they going to deploy the train, the choo-choo train? Try and clear this Northland pack away so she can sneak through. And she does down the inside, tiptoeing along the inside line. Through again. Call from the bench is to keep going, keep trucking.
Hellhound just gets a little bit of a knock to go to the outside and has to
Right through the... Oh, and a big collision there. Northland blockers pulling it all on the line with a kamikaze hit on Cankle, which stops her in her tracks.
And we have a power jam now as Hellhound's told to take a seat on the naughty chair. Think about what you've
Well,
done.
Hellhound seems to be enjoying the penalty box at the moment. Maybe they've got some really nice snacks over there or something we don't know about. Cankle goes through again, so again this is going to be a good point scoring jam for Bay of Plenty. Looks like they're forming the choo-choo. Layla's looking at me and saying no. Number 8, 187, Prime Evil. Cankle just gets tipped, but she calls the jam. Almost through down that inside line, but just put a foot out over the line. So 189, 230, a 13-point jam there for Kankalbita.
Just under 7 minutes to go in this half.
So it looks like online we have more Bay of Plenty supporters than we do Northern supporters. Come on, Northern, they need your support right now.
Around the rank with our next jam.
Catchafire taking credit for the sulfur wall on that one.
As Nuclear breaks on through and takes the lead jam roll forward.
Yeah, there we go, Catchafire.
Bay of
One of
Plenty.
your sulfur girls has taken the lead jam.
As Hellhound.
Nuclear up the inside for an easy pass on Northland.
Hellhound for Northland.
Scoring
has to go
another
back to
4
the end.
points for her team.
Looks like a panty pass is coming up for Hellhound.
Oh, just about up the inside again, but just gets a backside in her way.
And Velo Skitty is
These
now...
players they're not giving up.
Velo Skitty is now taking control of the jam roll for Northern, although lead jammer Nuclear
Oh, and the big push for Lear, getting pushed out over the sideline by the Northern blocker.
and Nuclear caught an end to that jam with 132.197 with Bay of Plenty in the lead.
So the dynamic duo has been changed up a little bit this weekend. Normally we see Her Majesty with T-Nuts. It looks like we're out there with T-Nuts 212 and taking Her Majesty's place, number 9, Demonique.
5-second call.
Very aggressive player is Demonique, loves her derby. Ivy back out on track for Bay of Plenty. And it looks like Smith is having a crack at jamming. Maybe trying to use some of her strength, so throw something different at Bay of Plenty. But of course, Bay of Plenty do play with Smith a lot. They do know her game style. So not sure if that's quite the right move from Northland. Real battle going on there between Smith and Princess Di.
Ivy has just stacked on a few more points for the Bay of Plenty team.
Walling up again as Catchafire says. That sulfur wall. Taking a bit of a tumble here, but she skated, gets up.
And that's the end of that jam.
Yes, I am a bit guilty. I do apologise to those online. I am tending to use she a little bit. I know I shouldn't be, so I do apologise for that. A little bit of habit, I guess. You sort of say it without even realising it.
Oh, and a big hit there on Kankalbita.
Wow, Kankalbita's backside found the floor there very, very quickly. taking quite a tumble from the Northern blocker.
The Northern Jammer has taken control, and that is Chemical Carnage.
Chemical Carnage out in front for Northland. Coming down that inside line. Oh, a big collision there with the Bay of Plenty players. But gets straight through. 4 points for Northern. Bay of Plenty Jammer. Kankelbider still struggling just to get through a little bit. Up comes Chemical Carnage. Tries through the middle. Tries the inside line.
It's now a power jam for Chemical Carnage as Kankelbider is sitting on the naughty chair. The Bay of Plenty blockers are communicating their tactics between each other as Chemical Carnage approaches that jam line. Oh, and takes a heavy fall down and causing into that jam.
So we're starting to see a bit of passion coming out in these players at the moment. A couple of hard hits starting to come in.
Just under 3 minutes to go. We have 139 to 201 for Bay of Plenty. So Bay of Plenty have cracked that 200 mark.
And you would have to say with that score at this point, TJ, you know, Bay of Plenty certainly in control and look like the hot favourites to take game number 1 here at the 2020 Regional Rumble. We're all lined up, set, ready to go, and there's the whistle to get the jam underway. Nuclear trying the inside line for Bay of Plenty. Crackerjacks.
Crackerjacks trying to get on that outside, but stepping on out and now taking a seat on the naughty chair for Northern. So it's a power jam for Nuclear and the Bay of Plenty team.
Crackerjack seems to like that. I must talk to her after the game and find out exactly why. Maybe there's snacks over there, I don't know. But Nuclear taking control for Bay of Plenty. Coming back up onto the pack for another scoring pass. Just to consolidate this lead. Tries the outside line. Gets caught on the outside when her team's trying to do the train, but she's through the inside.
So some more points there for Bay of Plenty as this power jam has now come to an end and Crackerjacks has now re-entered the action for Northern.
Princess Di takes a bit of a tumble, has a giggle about it. Nuclear down the inside she goes again for another 4 points for Bay. Watched Nuclear play quite a few times. Probably a bit of an underrated player at times, I think. But certainly knows her craft and is quite an effective jammer.
Crackerjacks looking for that panty pass.
Crackerjack still playing with the blockers back there. Having a great old time.
Yeah, it's a penny pass now for Northern. So the pivot assumes the role of jammer. Meanwhile, Nuclear is still going around clocking up the points there for Bay of Plenty.
Primeval taking the Northern jammer right back, trying to hold her back.
Leah for Northern is now the jammer. As Nuclear is still stacking on those points for Bay
Primeval and Evilette doing a great bit of bridging going on here just to allow the pack to extend out.
And we have an end
So good block job there by Primeval and Evilette, holding back the Northern jammer.
With that one, that was a big score for Bay of Plenty, 221 to 139. And we're probably down to our final jam.
Nuclear is underrated, question mark. I think she's, personally, I think she's a fantastic jammer. I really do.
Well, we saw her play.
But I think some people sort of, I don't know, maybe it's just the way I've taken it from some people. They sort of seem to not treat her as a superstar when really she is very good at her craft. I think there's a lot of players out there that are underestimated in their ability and are a lot better than they get given credit for. Of course, all these players. And it looks like it has been called. That is the end of the game. And we have a victory to the Bay of Plenty side, 139 to 221. Fantastic first up win for Bay of Plenty. Sure the girls will be pretty excited about that. Lots of high fives going on over there.
It's great sportsmanship being displayed on both sides. Final score 139 to 221. Bay of Plenty on top.
To be honest, I really thought that game might have been a bit closer than that, maybe 20 to 25 points in it, but reasonably convincing win there by the Bay of Plenty team. Thank you, Rebel. Much appreciated. Hope we didn't bore you and drive you nuts with our silliness. If you did enjoy us, we will be back later in the day.
There will be some more games coming up with some other announcers as well.
Now the next game, of course, here at the Regional Rumble will be 10 a.m. and we have Central 1 versus 2 South, 2 Furious. And if they do lose, we will change their name to 2 South, 2 Slow. I'm sorry, that was bad. The next announcers, if they are here, I haven't seen them yet, they haven't come across to us, but will be Sneak as well as Drama Queen. I believe Sneak is Wellington based and Drama Queen is a bit like us. She's based out of the Moana Club in Tauranga. Of course, they are both players. TJ and I are not. We are simply, well, I'm a Derby widow. In other words, my partner plays Derby, so I think I have a partner. She turns up home every now and again to wash her stank Derby gear. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's a Derby player. Makes me a Derby widow. Yes, no,
Yes.
Bubble, I do apologise for that.
Yes, we will try to keep on top of that.
It just, trying not to do it, it just sort of comes out without realising. But we will do our best through the day to stop calling the skaters girls and she. So again, do apologise for that. We're just men. We're just hopeless men. I'm sure Sneaks and
Might pop down and watch a game. That might be a good idea.
so of
Come down
course,
and-
with that game being done and dusted, Bay of Plenty taking the win over Northland, it means that Northland will go to Game 5, which will be held at 3:15 this afternoon. And Bay of Plenty, they are out for the day now. They will be going to Game 8, which will be at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So Bay of Plenty get to take a break, while Northland play again at 3:15 p.m. this afternoon if you do want to support them. Now, of course, next game underway at 10 a.m. is the next game. Central 1, 2 South, 2 Furious.